Welcome back to Sodi Pop on YouTube. My name is Matt, and I wanted to have a quick discussion about some things that were happening on the VEVE app recently. Of course, the gods of VEVE, the eye of VEVE, constantly switches gaze from comics to NFTs to different collectibles, and as we have seen recently, it has recently switched its gaze right to the good old Spidey-Man. So Spider-Man comics and commons and secret rares and everything have slowly gone up in price. I just wanted to speak about an upcoming Spider-Man, well, hopefully upcoming, should be upcoming Spider-Man that you should probably load up on if you are able to. Again, not financial advice, well, at least try and get one of, but never FOMO in, because what I just talked about, that ever watching eye, it moves from place to place. I personally, when I spoke about recently, patience goes for letting VEVE and Akomi and the company do its thing, you know, having trust in its founders. And that's one of the videos I have coming up, is speaking up about the founders, kind of VEVE 101 type thing, and what is going on, what is it, how to use the app, and then why should you trust the founders at all, because it's important to be very skeptical, and it's important to be skeptical of what they say. I've heard other YouTubers express that this is the man in the know. They're the ones in the know. They're gonna know. Well, they also are incentivized to say certain things to make their own company sound good. That sounds reasonable. But if what they're saying doesn't match up with what's actually happening, that's when you should be concerned. So far, so good. I think everything that they're hoping will happen is happening, and they have a lot of amazing stuff happening in the future. That's why I'm so freaking positive on it. So back to Spider-Man. Spider-Man is an extremely popular character, has always been, along with Batman, my probably two favorite characters. I always really like Cyclops, even though he's a bit of a goody two-shoes in the universe of X-Men as well. So I just wanted to point out why some of these are rising in price, what to expect in the future, and perhaps maybe what you should be more patient for. So we have seen all these are rising up in price. The major one here are these Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man #1. This, however, was not the first appearance of Spider-Man, as I've learned from other colleagues in the space. Here on my NFT tracker, which is my personal one I use, I know there's VEVE.wiki, which hasn't worked for me as well. I will probably be going back and forth, but right now I prefer this one, and kudos to the developers of this. They've done a really nice job, my NFT tracker. But the comment here on the far right of my screen, at least, you will see the Amazing Spider-Man classic cover. That's a comment. This is actually now above 100 gems. So its price is a little bit off. It's 80. It's now above 100 gems. I actually had 6 of them. I have one uncommon, and then like 5 of these commons, and I sold a bunch of them at like 30, 35, just get more gems for other things. A big mistake. And that's part of why I'm making this video, so you don't make these mistakes going on in the future. So the Amazing Spider-Man #1, they are moving steadily up in price, and I think will continue to move up in price. The secret rare here is almost 10K, which is amazing. And this isn't even the first appearance of Spider-Man. If you see right here, this is a 1.0. It goes all the way up to 10.0. 9.8 is probably the highest grading you'll ever see. Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy. This is the first appearance of Spider-Man. So this, in my opinion, and I think a lot of other comic collectors, I'm not a comic collector, so I'm getting this information from other people and putting it together for myself, and they're also saying this. So I want to keep that very clear, is that I'm not an expert on comic gradings and everything. I'm certainly interested in it and super pumped about it. But this will eventually, it has to eventually come out of VEVE. I would be super shocked if it didn't at some point, if not soon, come out. This 1.0 comic is going for 28K, almost 29K on Hip Comic. With that said, it is a 1.0. Will it actually sell for this? I don't know, but it is a very expensive comic. So I went today on Reddit and I saw this post, and this goes back into the patience. VEVE Collectibles posted by this username, me is instead, I don't know who that is. Anyways, regret not loading up a Marvel Comics #1, which is now Marvel Comics. The common is like 150, 160 gems. This is currently passing 100. It's kind of like at 100 right now as I make this video. regret not loading up in Marvel's #1 when it was chilling at 90, won't make the same mistake. So the Amazing Spider-Man, same thing, is headed up. But with that being said, again, going back, the first appearance of Spider-Man, I think a lot of people assume Spider-Man #1 is the first appearance of Spider-Man. It is not. It is the Amazing Fantasy. So I'm going back to, again, my point. Be patient. Wait. If you can afford it, that's fine. Try not to go into the FOMO. I personally rather miss out on a little bit of gain and have things stabilize or even go lower than just FOMO in and in the short term miss out. I've done that a couple of times in the VEVE app, and every time I FOMO in, I always have to end up waiting because I'm underwater. I have to wait. So I'd rather just buy stuff where the eye of VEVE isn't currently on. It's not currently on a few of these collectibles. It's not currently on, the first appearance of the Mighty Marvel's Steve Rogers. It's, that's not super big. Also, we have the NFT burning coming up. There's a really great, I think NFT Pirate made it, and he referred to Omi Homie, probably specifically Max, maybe Janie, in how there could be troll accounts that just buy really valuable NFTs or ones with like cool mint numbers and burn them. It'd be cool to form a DAO to actually do that. So a decentralized autonomous organization, one tried to buy a copy of the Constitution recently to actually form a DAO to just be a troll DAO where we buy rare collectibles and just burn them. And then all the VEVE points just get wasted because we're not interested in the VEVE Master Collectors Program. We're more interested in just burning rare mints. And I think that'd be create like a really interesting use. I know it would piss off a lot of collectors, probably piss off me at some point, but I think that will happen, and it's just another really interesting thing happening within this marketplace that is not really able to happen in other marketplaces. Sorry, my cat is scratching herself on the mic here. So I want to talk about that, and then going right back to the most popular superheroes. Spider-Man, I just quickly Googled it. There's so many lists of most popular superheroes, and I just want to show you at the top of all this are usually Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Wolverine is usually up there. Right up here, Wolverine, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman and Spider-Man, Batman. Captain America's up there as well. Captain America, he goes back and forth. To me, Captain America is a little bit of a goody two-shoes, boring superhero. And Superman, he can be that way. I really love Smallville for all of its faults because it just made you more ingratiated into who Clark Kent was and everything. Really enjoy that show. Anyways, long story short, I just want to make this quick little video. I have some other ones coming up that are a little bit more research intensive, but be patient. Watch the FOMO. The eye of VEVE is constantly on the move, constantly paying attention to different comics, different collectibles, and conveniently, when those things are moving up, you're going to see a lot more posts about them. You're going to see, and this is the same with crypto, you're going to see a lot more posts about Crypto.com or Fusion or whatever token ADA is moving up. It's when things are silent, when people aren't paying attention, when it's probably a good idea to start looking at that. And that's why you want a little journal, you want to make a list, you want to make, price track if you can. Right now, the secret sauce of VEVE is there's no great price tracking charts. They're starting to come up. There's some really good accounts that follow market caps and such of like the different TODs and such like that. But if you're able to, if you want to short term do stuff instead of long term, you can partially short term make a quick trade of like, oh, I noticed the Amazing Spider-Man is pretty cheap, and a lot of people were recognizing that a couple weeks ago, and now they're super pumped about the prices. So just keep that in mind. Be patient. Sit on your hands is not a bad thing. So thank you so much. That's all I have to say. Really quick video. Let me know what you think down below. Am I wrong? Am I just blowing smoke up your skirt? And I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, follow me on the 3 T's and IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. I have a new website coming out. I'm working with my best friend, Scott Worley over at Scott Worley Creative. He's going to be totally reworking my website. If you go to it right now, it's just a mess. So totally reworking the website and making it nice and pretty and functional. Very excited about that. I have some other things coming up, maybe some giveaways in the near future, and I am very excited. So again, stop saying very excited. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What is the next NFT to get the eye of VEVE? What do you think is a hidden gem that's kind of below everything else? And again, with Immutable X coming up, a lot of people are like, man, these artists, these specific artist ones are really, really undervalued. I hear that about like almost every single thing on VEVE. This is undervalued, that's undervalued. And remember, some people are trolls. Some people are naturally like just really interested in it. Some people want to pump their own stuff. You don't know the motives behind it. You probably never will, and just be comfortable with that. But have your own metrics for how you value things. Be patient, sit on your hands, be willing to wait for what, and be willing to miss out. That's the important part. Be willing and be okay with missing out a little bit, because that, in the long run, I think will help you out. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Remember,
be yourself
and eat a cookie. Bye.